right? The PDP seems to be crumbling, seems to be falling apart in what, 9 months?
Well, let me not say that. They say they reconciling. I hear it.
Nah, but I mean, like be real, dog. Like be real. I mean, how much real reconciliation it could have at this point?
What do you mean?
How much real reconciliation it could have? I mean, you could reconcile for public appearance and
But there are parties where people don't like each other, and everybody know that, and they still
yeah. But
function.
you see, the thing is, I think they are so young, and people are looking for the
Right.
those issue. They're
cracks.
looking for the cracks, and you come on and chew like that. And horse, it's not like a small fallout. It's some big shots, especially Watson. You take at Farley, yeah? Some huge. It's not like. Also, I mean, they could show a little talk horse for people, then you know. But now, wait, man, some huge shots.
Listen. None of that would have made a difference if the people involved were different. And by people, I mean Watson Duke.
Right.
So to your point, whether they're getting mashed up or not, I take your point because if it was dealing with different people, then it could easily be reconciled, and they would never be friends, and But because of the individual involved, I think it happened because of the individual involved, and it can't. It probably. There's a risk it may not be patched up because of the individual.
Yeah. I listen. I comment on you one thing on TikTok with the second video you put. I said, "Cause he's a big man or a child. What are you doing? Why are you having this conversation on here?"
That's what I keep telling you. No, I mean I'm asking why it reached there, but I know why, because of the individual. That's who he is, and even now you know what he said, and this is what I was telling you, like he say she say about who sent Vanilla Allen Topping and this squad out there and how much you're supposed to get and where there was backdoor dealing or what spawned the reaction from Watson Duke is, to me, it's not irrelevant, but it is not the story. Why? Because whatever happened in the background didn't have to be dealt with in that way.
Right.
But it was dealt with in that way because he's a clown.
Well, let me tell you why I was really interested in what was happening in the background. Because as much as I understand that Watson Duke, in my opinion, is not fit for leadership or not fit to hold any high office, even though he has in terms of the president of the PSC. I was just trying to figure out what could have happened for you to break. I didn't want to say break character, right? Because I think that is part of his character. But you had this image.
Break ranks.
Right.
Break ranks and jeopardize the stability of the party.
Exactly.
Right.
And the stability of the party is now. And then the potential for, what the party could have done. That is this damn Android phone. You're just talking and start to,
Record, yeah?
No, well, it didn't record it, but it probably sending something to the CIA. Anyhow, yeah, what could have happened that could cause you to possibly throw off the potential things that this party could get? Because, also, if you want to fight, I am not saying that he was trying to get some monetary thing out of it. I don't know if it's possible, probably whatever. But if it is he was really trying to get 10,000 or 40,000 or 100,000 out of this thing and Farley and him was tying it up and he wasn't getting any money or wasn't getting to do what he wanted to do, whatever the case may be, you go throw off nearly everything when you could have possibly get tens of millions in the future.
That's what I'm saying. He's a clown. He can't help himself. The ego is almost an extent like Trump. How Trump's character. So even when he might have policies that could be defended or ideas that could be defended, his character always comes to the fore, and it's his biggest asset, but his biggest
downfall.
His downfall.
Yeah.
It's ultimately his downfall. It's the reason most people hate him. It's the same thing with Watson Duke. His character is what draws the attention, right? I wouldn't call it charisma, but some people might call it charisma. But whatever it is, it draws attention. It draws eyeballs and attention to him and whatever he's involved in. He doesn't, his character and his temperament doesn't allow him to use that only to his advantage. Because, I mean, I live in Tobago, but I'll make some assertions. You'll tell me if you agree or not. I assert that the PDP has been doing a good job so far. Or at least there are a lot of people who perceive that they've been doing a good job so far.
All right, so my wife has a few Tobagonian clients, and all of them seem to be satisfied. And even though some things that were promised in come true, they believe it will come true. They believe they're on the right path. They're fixing a lot of things. This is what they believe, that they are fixing a lot of things that was there before, you know, and that they have to rectify, but in the process of rectifying it, and Tobago is going to be bigger and brighter.
Right.
In the future.
So you agree. Right. I would have said that and you would agree, right?
Yeah.
Now, again, full disclosure, none of we live in Tobago, so we don't know, right? And we ain't no party mascot, so we ain't saying this just so. But I perceive they're doing a good job. Or at least I feel people in Tobago perceive that they're doing a good job. So, you know, PNM, as we've talked about many times, that's the default party for Trinidad and Tobago. If people just topple them, but then there's always fuck up and then we run back to the PNM. This is an opportunity. They have an opportunity. Because normally, people are start to sour on the alternative real fast.
Real quick,
2010, right? It wasn't long before people were like, oh God, boy, this is what you voted?
Yeah.
But that doesn't seem to be taking place with the PDP. You understand what I'm saying? So you are looking at these people they might actually be able to get a proper foothold. And then once Trinidadians see that they're doing a good job in Tobago,
and they start to hear from across the holding it down proper.
Then all of a sudden this now becomes a viable option. You know, now the people will take the party more seriously. Now you and I, do you believe that? Do you agree? Sorry.
Yeah, I agree. Right. Yeah.
So you and I could see that. This Bumsy can see that. I know, well, wherever there's shippiness, where there's ego, and you find them fellas should take you on, or where there's really, as you might be you're suggesting, maybe there's some bubble or something, but you can't pardon and not deal with it, you know. But not the first thing, because they would say they probably had things. Why would you take the battle to the public?
Social media, boy. Why you doing that, boy? Look, let me get another thought about this. Remember when they changed Faris' portfolio, and they changed his position. You remember he was supposed to have a press conference that same day when they release it, and then the press conference get cancelled. And no, how PNM normal behavior, I don't think you'd have come out and say something bad.
Right? Yeah.
But I think he probably thought to himself too, I feel my feelings or my emotions might show in how I express myself today.
Well, or I think you didn't want to open himself up to the media at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He didn't at that point in time, he wouldn't want to have questions thrown at you.
Right.
About that, yes.
So, right. I say, well, let me take a backseat to this for a while and we go deal with this some other time. I come up with something proper and I can deal with that.
Yeah.
The thing is with Duke, so I don't know why Duke run out himself and it was just... listen, so I got a next video today from somebody who apparently is across there in New York, right? Dealing with this situation and whatever. And what he was saying is that what had happened was the THA paid for, this is what this person is saying, right? The THA paid for the place for them people to stay, some hotel or somewhere, right? And he said overall it was 23 of them. So 12, apparently they came here first. They came to Trinidad to organize their visa stuff. And apparently, this is what he's saying. Apparently they thought that they could have just go in the embassy. They would have stamped their visa and they jump on a plane and go. Not realizing, no, you had to wait a period of time to
stay,
the turnaround period for it, right? And the turnaround period took about a week. So they reached in New York a week late.
Wow.
Right?
Wow, they weren't aware that anyway, go ahead.
right? They reach a week late, and 12 reach a week late, and then the next 11 came a few days after. What he is also saying is that when they were late and they weren't going to show up, the THA knew this, and THA told the people who they paid for we like a refund because they've been coming again.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Because obviously you can't reach a week late for Labor Day.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying?
something has a set date.
Something has a set date.
Yeah.
So as far as they were concerned, if you miss it,
we canceling the reservation.
yeah,
Because
you missing a performance. So when you get a visa, and then you come back to Bigo and you relax yourself and next year for that, however.
Yeah.
Nah, apparently they went still. You understand? And when they reached there, apparently the place that they were going were dealing with the meals and everything, and right? When they reach the people, and the people are like, no, well, that cancelled. That was supposed to be like last week Monday, and it's the next Monday now.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
And at that point is where they start to try to pull things together. And this person saying is his PRO or whatever was the person who had organized the basement for them to stay in. Mm-hmm. And they did admit, yes, the conditions in the basement weren't the best. Yes, it possibly had rats, right? The man admit that. The man admit that, right? He said, but given the short space of time and people here, and we have to find something to do with them, this is what we could have organized at the point in time. He then said that his PRO...
So why didn't just organize for return tickets one time? Like if they were going to plead for some assistance, would they just pay for a change of date?
They said no. They said they were going on to other ventures. So they had other things to do other than that Tobago celebration that they was really going to right? Okay. So they will go and do the other things, right?
Okay.
And
in New York.
Okay. Right? And the PRO organized, and he spoke, he's saying they spoke to Farley, and Farley said, listen, all you put them in a hotel for me, and all you handle it, and I will reimburse all you. Mm-hmm. But deal with it right now. Because I guess, I don't think Farley have a THA credit card that he could call. I don't know how it works, right? He could call a hotel and say, well, this is your credit card number. Well, how much of them they just all go through now? I don't know. I would think you would have to go through some sort of process, right? To get the money, or whatever the case may be. Nevertheless, he say, well, tell Farley, right? And Farley say, all right, go through, organize, and they tell Farley, well, we got to organize food and things. He say, yeah, no problem. Only just organize it, and we. But that person who was doing the organizing, he say, he just, because Watson Duke was across there, he just gave me an update of what was going on. Because as far as he considered, everything is everything cool, Watson cool. He just let him know, hey, this is the situation we're working at. And he say, Watson jump out himself. He says, when they look again, it's because
he wild.
He on social media, and he like, whoa.
He wild.
What's this?
You're bottom. You're bottom. You know what a bottom? And, you know, and ultimately... listen, I don't know. I can't put myself in their shoes to understand how they think. Their whole, when I say there, I mean these poor leaders that we have. You know, I don't know. So I don't know what if the ego takes over, or I don't know how they thought. I can't understand it because they don't appear to be rational people to me. But they shoot themselves in the foot all the time, and it's clear to me that many of them are narcissistic and are not into politics for the right reasons, right? And you would think that, okay, fine, that's not fine, it's not okay that that's the case, but okay, I can understand that. But you would think that if you were just a little bit more restrained, then you'd actually get what you want. You'd actually get what you want. If you were just a little bit, if you just turn down the clownness for just a little bit, you might actually get where you want to go. But they just can't. And what is that boy now? What is... Why they can't turn off? Why they can't stop?
But I think is for one, as you say, you know, when the purpose is bigger than you, you would tend to behave, or you tend to kind of fall in line, or you tend to do what is necessary to serve your purpose, right? But when you feel bigger than the purpose, that is when you always run into problems.
Well, maybe, and maybe even because, but the problem is that the reason why that's hard for me to understand is that the purpose is supposed to be to rise, right? That even if it's for selfish purposes, it's for you to rise. You don't only want to be what is the deputy, was the deputy leader of the party that in charge in Tobago. I'm sure you want bigger things. You have bigger ambitions. So if you keep that in mind, then you shouldn't be shooting yourself in the leg by doing dunceness like this. But because you are so, and that's why I had to wonder if some of them not even, like, they don't have it up here. Like they can't even strategize. You know what I'm saying? So is it that something wrong? Is it that they're not playing with all the marbles?
I think so. Listen, watching you guys when people I think doesn't play with all the marbles. Is either that or it's like when you get an opportunity to show off, like he just show out. He just overdo.
Right. But what I'm saying, I know I could tell that, but because in his mind that's what works for him, right? Because,
and don't get me wrong, and not to cut you, but I think it has worked for him. Don't get me, because I remember this time he going up against somebody in his own party and somebody who was supposed to be working with. But when he decided to take that fire to somebody, let's just say the ministry that you working in and that you want representation for or from, or whatever the case may be, it works. It works in that regard.
Right.
But you have to understand, sometimes you're playing checkers, sometimes you're playing chess.
You're not a union leader no more. You know what I'm saying? And boy, is like, I know, to be fair, or to be honest, I should say, it's kind of good that these clowns show themselves, because
I agree.
Because it's better. I shouldn't be angry that they don't get to the top, because imagine if these clowns get to the top. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that the politicians who we have at the top now, the ones who are in charge, are the greatest since sliced bread, but it probably is better if these clowns, you know what I mean? If a man can't even restrain himself in and even to attain what he wants, because all this antics that happen to the people in Tobago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The people in New York, sorry. You know what I mean? That he not that emotional because of that. You understand where I'm coming from? So you can't even restrain yourself in that instance. You can't understand, time and place is a real good thing, really touched real power out here, boy.
But this is what I got to say. You could just imagine he as the leader of the country, and some other country, like the other day when Antigua said, they might have to sue. You understand?
Yeah.
For some money.
He might have put a video.
Yeah, and he...
Sue now?
Yeah, you understand? Oh, look, come in. Yeah. We are the bigger ones here. And he play mad and...
Yeah. Listen... I don't mean to keep drawing the same parallels with Trump, because to some extent, you would probably be able to speak to a little bit more competence on the part of Trump. Some people would argue, but the inability to curb the excesses of your personality, that is 100% exactly like him. And I think what also kind of is tripping off or fooling a lot of these people now is because I think Trump's rise has given some people the impression that that's kind of what working now, boy. But that kind of loose cannon is a thing.
In the video, the person said that, The person said he tried to play a Trump in the situation,
Oh.
What they say that he watch how Trump kind of went up against the people of his own party.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they kind of make it look like the parties against the people.
Right.
And so the people supported Trump.
Right.
So they said they feel like the card he's trying to play.
It may be, but this Trump situation is completely different. Right? Because in his instance, the other side, he tapped into something that was existent. He realized that the rest of them weren't addressing the issues that the people had on their minds. So he simply said, I would do it for you. I would fight for you. Give me your grievances and I will take it to the White House. But it is not like the PDP at this point in time is suffering out there. The PDP is not like you and I agree that it appears that people in Tobago kind of like giving them a thumbs up. So it's a completely different situation. And for you not to be able to recognize that, again, you're not playing with all the marbles. You're not playing with all the marbles at all. And it is sad because it would mean that the PNM would never feel any fear because they just know, dog, even when
just
these people
just give them a little chance now, but they will
they will come back.
And not just the people, they give those people a chance to lead, and they will show up themselves. They'll do shippiness. They're gonna, and then everybody will just be like, all right, bring
come
back
back
PNM.
right now. Let me go back by the parties.
Because clearly we can't just, and then if all they continue doing that, then we make it much harder for anybody else to ever get a chance again.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. But they just keep doing it. And like I said, what was surprising about the PDP is that in all the other, like when Top took over, in the general elections, you know, and in 2 seconds,
people were upset.
Ashwood Jack was enemy number one. You understand what I'm saying? Well, we know whenever we change hands here in Trinidad, in general, when the central government changes, in no time people be like, oh, this is what we vote for. So for the PDP to be like, for people to be like, yeah, well, yeah, we kind of good with what we do so far. And this bottom here trying to, because everything is always about him.
I say to that, studying, we should call him and have him on the podcast and grill him.
Bro, I don't feel like I can have a conversation with that brother. That brother, you know. I tell you, I don't feel like I can have a conversation with that brother. That brother, not all together here. And he will just talk in, because, and this is again the difference between, if you want to draw parallels with people. And you see, that's another thing. You see, there are a lot of people who like to imitate what they see successful, but they don't understand. They don't understand what it is they're trying to imitate. They're just seeing certain aspects of it, and they say, well, okay, he's a loose cannon. I could be a loose cannon.
They don't understand the machinery in it. They don't understand.
Exactly. They don't properly understand it before they try to imitate it. Because one thing, if you try to have a conversation with any interview you've ever seen with Donald Trump, almost every interviewer will tell you, he's real easy to interview, because he's very direct.
And once you do try to attack him and be unreasonable with him, you can talk to Trump for hours.
Yes, he's very direct. You might like what he's saying. You might disagree with his assertions. You might think he's lying or whatever. But the point is, he's not like other politicians to talk to. You speak to him and you get direct answers. You know what I mean? You'll get a little, is he greatest ever? Is he best you've ever seen? You'll see the exaggerations because he's a sales/con man forever, and that will always be in him. But you'll get direct answers. I don't think you get anything close to a direct answer out of Watson Duke. He don't stop sermonizing. He don't come out of character. He don't stop, preaching. He's like a pastor. You understand what I'm saying? He so you can't talk to him and get.
And you really have a pastor, look,
Yes. Yeah. I've always found. And I feel if politics didn't work, that's what you do.
Serious.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the way we even, Virgin,
yeah.
And you could go in them thing and condemn people of your church and thing, and that would be good. You'll pay more money.
Yeah, so you switching gears.
Yeah, like switch gears. I want to get in trouble for that comment.